Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old Joe Road, ready to go. Brian, how's Las Vegas?
That's hey, it's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas.
And you just had
Yeah.
the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and we just had the Pro Bowl, and we just had the National Hockey League Pro weekend at the same time.
That's right. That's
And
amazing.
then we got the Super Bowl in 23, so that's good.
Yeah, for sure. Brian,
So
tell everybody a little bit. First of all, tell us your first and last name because I only wrote down your first name.
okay, my name is Brian Knaff. Knaff is spelled Knaff.
And what's your agency?
It's called Talent Buyers Network.
Now, we talked a little bit prior on the phone, and you told me you've been in the business for how many years? 50, 51?
This is our 50th year in business. We started in Missoula, Montana in 1972.
I love
But
Missoula.
we've morphed into different things. We
Okay.
were a rock and roll agency first. Then we got into country because I've got a country background.
Mhm.
And that was called Good Music Agency for 25 years. And then we became Talent Buyers Network, which is a company that buys big name entertainment mostly in Native American casinos and some promoters and private events. So we brought the Rolling Stones into Missoula, Paul McCartney, with a lot of our associates, which I will explain later is called the Montana Mafia.
Okay. All right. What made you make the move from Missoula, Montana to Las Vegas?
Well, let's see. What made me make the move was we had a lot of really excellent musician entertainers,
Okay.
and all the way from Minneapolis to the West Coast. And a lot of them had been on the road for a large part of their career, 10 years, 15, 5, whatever. They were getting tired of traveling, and they started calling us the Good Mileage Agency instead of Good Music Agency. So we decided that a lot of them were good enough to really break the Las Vegas market. So we moved here. My wife is an excellent agent too, and she's well known in the Seattle area. And so we packed our bags and moved here.
Fantastic. And so you're looking at retirement, you said?
No,
No.
I'm never going to, no. I'm going to die behind the desk.
You just said you're slowing down. I misheard you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll die backstage or I'll die at my desk, one of the two.
Amen, brother. Amen. What made you get in the music business?
I grew up in this little town in Glasgow, Montana, and I've always been like I ran sock hops when there weren't any bands. I didn't even see a band. I graduated in 1962, so I didn't see a band in Montana except for Hawkshaw Hawkins and Hank Snow and the Grand Ole Opry tours. And one time Buddy Knox came, but that's all we saw for live entertainment. We never saw local bands even. And I started at the University of Montana, and I saw my first local band from Butte and got really excited about it, bought a set of drums, started playing, and put together a really good band, put myself through college.
Fantastic. What made you get on the agency side of things?
I'm a born salesman.
Okay.
I outsold the whole grade school in magazine subscriptions when I was in the second grade. And the nuns tried to turn me into a priest. Instead, I decided to become an agent.
There you go.
But they're about the same. They're about the same thing, a priest and an agent, about the same.
Yeah, you're selling the product that's going to help people. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we never lie.
That's right. Perfect. So how have things changed and evolved over the past 20, 30 years? How are things different, and where do you see them going?
Oh man, it's been a huge change. Local musicians were playing 5 and 6 nights a week into the 90s. five, they'd go someplace and play 5 or 6 nights. Now it's one night, 2 nights. It's and a lot of it's all original music
Right.
instead of top 40. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's really been a great transition into more creative musicians and
Yeah.
requiring people to write their own music. And except for bands that play like corporate events and things like that, they want top 40. But there's a lot of clubs and a lot of outdoor shows where they want bands to play their own music, or at least a large portion of their own music. That's been the biggest change. And so what it's created a much stronger music scene overall in the whole area.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Where do you see things going in the next 10 years?
Oh, by the way, you know what?
Yeah.
The Doors predicted, and I think it was Jim Morrison predicted in the 60s, maybe early 70s, that it would be men and machines instead of bands. And sure enough, man, there's a lot of machines back and a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
But I saw Styx the other night, and oh my God, what a band! I haven't seen a band like that for a long time, and I just miss it. I miss good local bands. But where I see it going now is, these guys that are in their 60s and 70s, like Chicago and Styx and REO and all those other rock bands and country bands are going to pass. And when they do, the country music's rock and roll now. It's not. I mean, there's a few really good classic country bands that people really appreciate.
Right.
But a lot of them are rocking out big time. It's all changed for the better. And I think what's going to happen is that's just going to evolve. It's going to evolve into a melting pot of hip hop, rap, country. I mean, it's doing it now.
Yeah.
It's evolving into a completely different music style, and styles change from 10 years to 10 years to 10 years, maybe 7 years or whatever that is.
Right. Right.
But it's just going to keep evolving, and the best parts of one music style is going to be used by the best parts of another music style. And some creative musicians, singers, entertainers, don't forget, this is not the music industry, it's the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And when you forget that, you're not going to go anywhere. And so it's going to evolve with a melting pot into different small differences in styles, but they're all going to use the strong parts of the previous styles that people used to get where they are now.
Sure, for sure. That's awesome. Brian, what's one piece of advice you would give to the youngster out there who wants to get started in the music industry, and maybe they're contemplating going to college and taking a 4-year marketing degree, or they're just thinking about jumping in? What advice would you give them to get started?
I have the exact formula.
Okay.
Yeah. I started a curriculum at the University of Montana 20 years ago called Entertainment Management. And the students there take accounting, economics, journalism. All of those things are necessary for an entertainment degree.
Right.
Because you've got to be able to write, you've got to be able to think creatively, you've got to be able to do nuts and bolts accounting.
Uh-huh.
You have to be able to do all of that. So if you're going to get in the entertainment industry, you definitely go to college, because the other big thing is you've got to learn big data. You've really got to be able to use the computer to your advantage. And a lot of the people that interview for jobs at William Morris Agency or CAA or Paramount Pictures or
Yeah.
all the places where a lot of our students are working now. They've gotten jobs from this. They've gone to college. Now there's other colleges that have entertainment degrees, really good ones, like Syracuse University. I think there's a couple of other, there's about 6 or 7, Belmont,
Right.
Belmont in Nashville. You know, they put out a great product. But I'm just I'm an alumni. I'll tell you something. I want to tell you something here. I looked it up and tell you who came out of the University of Montana and went on in the music business.
Yeah.
And these are actually the founders of this entertainment management course. And I'll tell you what they are.
Okay.
Clint Mitchell, Vice President, Head of Performing Arts at William Morris Endeavor in Beverly Hills. He's from Glendive, Montana.
Wow.
I don't.
Well, baby, I'm on